Let's first talk about the DLLs. So if you go to any project that you create for SolidWorks automation, we go to references and we add some DLLs. Okay, if I go to COM objects and here I look for the DLLs. So these are the three common DLLs that we use. Okay, so these are SLDWorks type library, SolidWorks commands type library, and SolidWorks constant type library. So let's understand what is this different libraries. Okay, so we know that these libraries or DLLs are actually the bridge between our .NET code to communicate with SolidWorks, and these are COM-based API libraries. So this is COM-based API libraries. We don't need to go into details what is COM and all. Okay. So first, let's see the SolidWorks type library. And this SolidWorks type library is a most critical and core type of library. So if you refer to a car, for example, then this library is engine of the car. This particular library contains the interfaces and objects that allow us to drive the software. So that's why I call it as engines because it has the critical interfaces and objects that we require to access, that we require to run or automate the SolidWorks software. So what it contains, so you know that we have SLD works, which is a top level object, which is application itself. Then documents like model doc2, part doc. Then some classes like feature. We use this feature to create the extrude. Okay, so these are the objects that this library contains. So this is very critical because if it is not used, we cannot even access the first object which is SLD works. Okay, so this is the library that should be required when we start a project for SolidWorks automation. What this API library or DLL do is it provides methods and properties. So we know what is methods like. For example, that extrusion. What we had. Let me recall. We had feature extrusion too. Okay, that was the method, and in that feature extrusion too. Let's see if I have something to show you here. I don't know which code this is really. Okay, let me copy the code which we use for first program. Okay, yeah, this one. Except this, it's okay now. There are no errors. Let me change it like this. Okay, ignore it for now. Okay, so this is select by ID, create circle, feature extrusion 2 is a method. Okay, and what are the properties? Like whatever data we provide, whatever parameters we provide. So this particular SolidWorks type library is it provides these methods and property. So we can drive the SolidWorks software. Okay. Now the another library is SolidWorks constant type. First, let's take first the constant type library. So if you refer to uh, type library as engine of a car, type library DLL as engine of the car, then this constant type library is kind of manual. Like that manual refers to how to drive the car. Okay. So this, as this is a manual, uh, in analogy for this car example, this library does not do anything on its own, but it provides the definitions and enumerations used by type library. Enumerations we have seen. Enumerations are nothing but options. Okay, options like this one, SW start condition underscore E. So if it is E at the end, it means that it is an enumeration. So for this particular data in this method, there are several options that we can choose. Start condition, end condition. Okay. So these are options, nothing but enumerations. So this constant type library contains the information about those enumerations. We also call them as enums, the short form enums. Okay, so this contains thousands of such enumerations. For example, if you know in SolidWorks, we have save as options. What are those save as options? File, save as. Okay, this is looking black. Okay, but if you could see, this is save as copy and continue. This is save as copy and open. Okay, so these are the save as options. So if I go to SolidWorks help and look for SW save as options. Yeah, so we have the save as options, and this is the enumeration I'm talking about. Okay, so this is the enumeration. If I go here, then you could see that we have these many options, and these are enumerations. Okay, so these enumerations are nothing but available in the constant type library. So what happens is, uh, it replaces the cryptic numbers. In some of the cases, in the enumerations as well, you might have seen some numbers as integer we can use. Okay, so for example, here this 8, 2, okay, then this 4, 1. So these are the alternative integer numbers that we can use instead of this enumeration. So if we use this, now you see here, as we are into enumerations, this is a huge list. Huge list we could see here. Let's find something mate type. Yeah, this is perfect example for the numbers. These are called cryptic numbers actually. Okay, so mate, angle mate, we have 6 as a number. This 0 is used for coincident. This concentric has 1. So instead of using this enumeration there, which is a mate option or mate type in this case, if we use this, uh, if we not use this name, but instead we use number, our code will look like uh, very difficult coding, because we will not able to understand easily what this number means, uh, unless and until we come to a API help and look for such page, relevant enumeration page, and find this table. Unless and until we can not able to understand what that number 5 means. Okay, so we don't need to use. We actually want to avoid using the numbers, so that we can have that meaningful code, and it is a readable code. So it is not a magic number. So mate type 1 or mate type 2, mate type 3 doesn't has like a meaningful information about the mate. So we instead use the mate enumeration like this. So this kind of information is available in the constant type library. Now there is another benefit of using it like this into our code. If we use it like this, uh, then uh, then if any new version does any changes to the enumerations, so or if any changes done to the method used here, it still works in most of the in most of the cases. We don't need to uh, modify the code that we have. Uh, because of the version change. As the name suggests, for this library, it is a constant type library. So this library contains all the constants information, and uh, we don't need to do anything when any version changes. So this is about the constant type library. Now the third and the last one is commands type library. Now, in a way, this commands type library is actually the optional one. We use it when we really need it. So this commands type library is specifically specialized library for triggers related to built-in user interface commands. So there is a list of uh, every single command that we use into SolidWorks. For example, any button, save as button, rebuild button, explode view button. So this command type library contains this information, and um, this is used optionally. So if you are using any code, and if this library is not added, and if your design time you don't see any error into your code, it means it is okay. You don't need to really have this library. But these are the three important libraries. The last one is commands type library, which provides the primary content related to the UI commands. UI commands, the buttons that we have on the SolidWorks screen. That information this commands type library has. Okay. Okay. Now I have this code. Okay, so what I will do is I will try to make this okay. Okay. SLD works and SolidWorks. Now, what's the problem here? It should work now. Let me go to references, add reference. Then there were some other uh, DLS that I added. I will remove them. Uh, Still, the problem is there. Okay, let me not do it here. Let me create a console application. So we have to also see that this was the Windows Form application. I will close this solution by saving it. I will go and create new project, or let me see if I have a console application project already created for SolidWorks. Let me check if this one is the console application type. No, this is not. Okay, so let me create a new project. C Sharp Windows Desktop. I will search for console. Console app. I will pick up this one. .NET Framework. Console app .NET Framework. Then create. And I will copy the first program that we had, which is very good example and the simple example to follow. I will pick up this first one. Now I will go to references, right click references, add reference. I will go to com, then recent. Then I will only pick up constant type library and SLDworks type library. Okay, this one using SW commands. This one is optional. I have not used that reference. I will comment this line. Okay, seems everything okay. I do not really need SW commands for my code here, as I don't see any issues here. Okay, so this is how it works. And if I go and uh, simply run this, I will first put a breakpoint. Simply run this. It will ask for the rebuild. Okay, so let's rebuild. I think I need to first save this. I will also need to mention that it is a public static void. Okay, then rebuild. It's still rebuilt is processing. It says rebuild all once succeeded. Okay, it's okay. Rebuild is successful. Now I have created. I have just played it. Now, if you see, as this is a console app, it opens a dialog like this. It is like a, command prompt dialog. Okay, so because it is a console app, it opens a dialog like this, just to make you aware that this opens a dialog like this. But this has nothing to do unless and until we have used debug.print. So debug.print is used for the console applications, and if we use that, so whatever information we print using debug.print, it will appear here in this dialog, unless we have we are having that debug.print code. If you don't have that code, this window will remain blank, but it will do the expected action into the SolidWorks. For example, creation of extrusion, feature extrude here. Okay. For now, I will stop it. Okay, it looks like it runs. Okay, it works. It plays the program, and it will probably run till the end. Okay. So what I wanted to next talk about is there were two options to connect that bridge between the SolidWorks and the .NET program that we have. So this is one option. This one option means I go to add references, I go to com, recent, and then I find for SLDWorks type library and SolidWorks constant type library. Okay, these two we mandatorily use in our code. But there is something else that you will also notice in API help. What was that? Uh, Let me look for some example. Save three method. Let's see this example. Rename component and update references. So if you see here in any of the example, most of the times you see this library is used. SLDworks.interop.sldworks. Sorry, solidworks.interop.sldworks and solidworks.interop.sw constant. This is what used, but we are not using it. What we are using it? We are using the com library. But there are two ways to bridge this gap actually. The gap between .NET program and SolidWorks. So first is using com library, what we used to do up till now, and other is that we use this interop libraries. So if I go to browse and if I go to browse button here, then I need to go to this folder path in my installation directory. Based on what installation version that you have, this might change. But if you are using this interop library, then you will go to program files, SolidWorks Corp, then SolidWorks API, and redist. This folder you will go, and here you will find those libraries that you wanted to use. The first one is SLDworks.dll, this one, and second one will be SW constant. This is two mandatory ones that we use, and others also you can use based on if you are following any class, any object, any method from that DLL. Okay, but these two are SLDworks DLL and SW constant DLL. These two are the mandatory ones, and then we can use this, add this here, and this will be added. And if we click OK, this is the another way of adding the DLL, or the creating that bridge between .NET and SolidWorks. Okay. Then what comes is, what is the difference between two? Of course, we need to use either interop DLLs or this COM DLLs. So I'm, if I'm using this interop DLLs, then I can go and remove these COM DLLs. And if I remove this COM DLLs, I will have this issue. Okay. Uh, it will not find, because this is not the way to declare the libraries or import the libraries. I mean, we have to copy these two lines from SolidWorks API and use that into our code. Okay, the difference between these two is, if we are using SolidWorks.interop.sldworks, this is actually a modern and explicit namespace. Modern means a latest one. Okay, it is used when you refer the interop DLLs. Of course, these are the interop DLLs, and as this is the way which is uh, mentioned, or which is given in any of the examples in API help. So this is the recommended one by SolidWorks as well. Okay. The other one, which is using SolidWorks or using SLDworks, which we add through the COM references. This one is the a bit older, but the primary one DLL, or it is sometimes a project specific one. But in latest SolidWorks and Visual Studio installation, this is what is used. This SolidWorks.interop.sldworks. This is what is used. Okay. So if you're using earlier one, that is also okay. But if you would like to use this interop one, which is also okay, the thing is that this is something which is recommended. But the other difference will be, if you're using this interop one, there will be a change in how you are declaring SLDworks object there. Because if you're using this one, then if I see this one here, oops, you see that the way we have used is different. You see, it is assembly doc is used like this. How the SLDworks is used, it is used like this. We'll copy this. Maybe I will comment this out and I will use it here like this. Okay, it's not working. Okay, cut. I will put it after this call. After this call. Okay, it has something to fix. Okay, the way we use these uh, objects, SLDworks object and model doc to object is different. Let's see if I copy this example as is, this rename component example as is. Let me copy this entire code, copy, and I will replace this entire one with this one. Yeah, it works without any issues. Okay. So if you are trying to copy any code example from API help, and you have the console application created, and you have this interop dot solidworks, interop dot sldworks, and interop dot sw constant used as a reference, then you just need to copy paste that code as is, and it should run, because this is the exact way that is needed by you to refer. Uh, it is exact way, the way it is mentioned in the API help. Okay, so this way you will not really need to do any adjustment, any changes into your Visual Studio. You just need to ensure that it is console application, and you have used these two libraries instead of the COM libraries. And that's it. You just copy paste that entire code and it should work. Okay. But the way it works is slightly different. The model doc2 is declared like this. This assembly doc is similar to model doc, which is declared like this. Then uh, the SLD works, which is the main object, which is declared here. Why it is declared here? It is declared at a class level, not at uh, the method level, which is the main method here. It is not at the method level, it is at the class level. Now I'm not sure why it is written at the end. It can be even here because anyway it is at a class level. Okay, so it can be written here as public SLD works SWAPP. This is what is class level. If we are declaring the objects just after the class is initialized, this is the class level declaration, and this is one of the method here. So this is how it is declared in this case. Okay, so this is about these two different ways to bridge the connection between .NET program and SolidWorks. Now the last part is within the API help itself. So if I go to API help and if I go to getting started, maybe then we have this SolidWorks API object model and class hierarchy. Uh, okay, let's go here in API help itself. We don't need to refer to getting started. You can go and explore the getting started section if you want. But I will for now go to here, SolidWorks API help. And here there are namespaces. So as uh, uh, as we just discussed, so we use these two main spaces very frequently. SLD works namespace and SW constant namespace. Now, if I wanted to look for anything within SLD works namespace, I can go here and find. So if you have doubt like what this library contains, then you can go here and explore. Similarly for SW constant and also for SW commands library. Now here there are two sections, overview and interfaces. Interfaces means APIs. APIs means methods or functions. So we have the interfaces here for all these classes. If you see I advanced whole element data, there is huge list starting from here. I will not read all of this. Few of these if I refer, I assembly doc, I annotation. Okay, these are the two classes. If I go to I annotation, then this actually they call it as interface, not classes. So let's call it as interface only. But this interface allows access to all these different things. Because it is annotation, this allows access to nodes, symbols, datum tags, dimensions, threads, blocks, center marks, center lines, and other annotation types. Okay. Now, uh, inside this annotation interface, there is something called members, annotation members. And here you find these uh, mm, these properties. So these are the properties which are referring to I annotation interface. So whatever these properties will do on the annotations only. So for example, annotation view property. So this one gets the annotation view of the annotation. This color property, this gets the color. So these are the properties, or this is actually kind of metadata or uh, attributes in a way. So annotation is interface. Okay, we can refer it as a object into SolidWorks. Let's say a dimension. So dimension has a color, dimension has a layer which is uh, to which it is there is a layer assigned to annotation. Okay, then there is some leader thickness, leader line style. So these are the properties of that dimension, and those properties can be accessed, or we can even go and change those properties uh, from these properties that those are listed in the table here, and these are common for any annotation because it is part of I annotation interface. Okay, and if we talk about the methods, so these methods are actually doing something, doing some action, uh, like delete style. So it deletes the style. This check spelling. It checks the spelling of the annotation. If there is certain text into annotation, it checks that. It adds or updates style. So this is the another method that do something. So these are all annotation related methods. So it gets the name of the annotation. It gets the plane of the annotation. So these are the methods. This is to deal with that annotation. Either do something with that annotation or create that annotation or modify that annotation. These kind of things are the methods. Another example is, let's take this iAssembly doc. So this iAssembly doc, it allows access to functions to perform the assembly operations. Then if I go and look for the members, iAssembly doc members, then similarly to how we saw for iAnnotation interface, for iAssembly doc interface, these are the properties. So this with this we can either fetch the property information, the data information, the attributes information of assembly docker, like enable assembly rebuild, then is supported mates available. So these are certain properties. List of the properties is less in this case in iAssembly doc. Let's talk about the methods. So method means anything that we wanted to do, like anything that we wanted to automate, certain actions that into assembly environment. Those will be part of this iAssembly doc. So here maybe it is add component. Add component 5 is the latest API interface. Add components is also there. Components with multiple components we can add. Add mate, we have add mate 5. So these are the assembly operations. Auto explode. These are the assembly operations. Create mate. There is a difference between add mate and create mate. Then edit mate. These are another operation in assembly. So these are the all the methods that do certain action into assembly. Those are a part of this I assembly uh, doc. Okay, so let's now if I search anything, uh, edit mate, let's say, just edit mate. Now, sometimes you got a question like, I see multiple search results which look very similar. Here, that is not the case. Let me look for something else. Chamfer. This is also not the very good example. Uh, extrusion. No, this is also not. Mm, okay, maybe we can see here. Uh, so you see some results which are from I surface. You see some result from I attribute definition. Okay, so when you look for something, this is something for I extrusion. I extrude feature data too. So why you see the different results, the search results from different uh, interfaces is because that particular property or method is within that uh, interface. So there could be some. mm, okay, let's say save. Yeah, you see, save method, save method, save method, save method, save method, save method. So, very similar uh, uh, APIs. Uh, Either this will be a method or this will be a property. Okay, but they are part of different interfaces. I model doc, I model doc 2, I body 2. I means it is an interface. The interface has two parts into it. Either uh, a property or a method. Okay, I body. So you must know which interface is used for which purpose. So if you know for which method is which for which kind of stuff this particular interface is used, then based on that understanding, you can choose which search result is relevant for you. If it is iBody or if it is iModel Doc 2, which is relevant, you can understand that. But for that, you need to understand which interface contains which information. So if I talk about uh, okay, let's say, let me do it here. Not here, sorry. Let me do it in the here itself. Okay, so there is a namespace. First thing is what? Namespace. What is the namespace? I will go to uh, not here. SolidWorks help. I want to go to SolidWorks help. Mm, okay, let me go like this. Okay, so these are the namespace. What is the namespace name? This is the namespace name. Okay, it's SolidWorks dot interop dot SLDWorks namespace. Then there are several interfaces. If I click here, I can see this interfaces, and this is a huge list of interfaces. Let's say this I assembly doc. So this is one of the interface. Then within this interface, there is methods and there is properties. Properties refer to metadata or attributes, and methods refer to uh, either functions or method is same thing actually, but this refers to some actions that we do in SolidWorks. And of course, these actions will be related to that interface only. I assembly doc or I body or whatever. Okay. It will be for that interface only. So there are some common methods that you find across different interfaces, but you need to be cautious or you need to be aware about which interface will contain which information. And it's very easy to understand. How you understand it? If you go to some interface, let's say this one, uh, iBody 2. Okay, here you see the first line itself, allow access to faces on a body and ability to create surfaces for sewing into body objects. So this one line is itself enough to understand what this interface is all about. And of course, there will be the members uh, like properties and methods that will tell you uh, more about which you can use within this iBody 2 interface. Okay. So with this, actually, I think I try to connect the dots about how you refer to the API help guide and navigate through it to find out the relevant either property or a method.